untreated or black water trickles into Earth's natural resources and has far-flung impact like
Pollution is the introduction of harmful materials into the environment. These harmful materials are called pollutants. Pollutants can be natural, such as volcanic ash. They can also be created by human activity, such as trash or runoff produced by factories. Pollutants damage the quality of air, water, and land.
Based on that video, one of the causes of pollution is from industrial activities. Starting in the 18th century and gaining popularity in the 19th century, the Industrial Revolution brought about drastic changes in the social and economic life of humans. The benefits of the revolution are felt even today, but so are the adverse effects. The introduction of industrialization brought about industrial pollution. During the revolution, technology, manufacturing, and science all began rapidly increasing and continue to grow even today. Before the Industrial Revolution, industry remained small and their primary pollutant was smoke. The plants had limited time and size, which meant pollution was minor. It was not until companies turned into huge plants and industry that the harmful effects of pollution became known. Industrial pollution refers explicitly to any contamination caused by industrial activities. Industrial pollution is a big issue because most pollution is caused by some industry, making it the most significant form of pollution on the planet. The effects of industrial pollution are vast, causing water contamination, a release of toxins into soil and the air, and it is the cause of some of the most significant environmental disasters of time. In this presentation, we'll emphasize related to the occurrence of water pollution as a result of the discharge of chemicals by industrial activities into water source areas.
Industrial water pollution arises from the discharge of toxic chemicals and compounds into water, making it unsafe for drinking and other uses. Although water covers 70% of the earth, only water bodies such as lakes, ponds, rivers, reservoirs, and streams provide us with fresh water. Therefore, keeping them clean is critical not only for people but for all other kinds of life as well. Industrial water pollution, often referred to as water pollution from industrial sources, is the contamination of water bodies due to the discharge of pollutants and waste materials from industrial activities. This form of pollution is a consequence of various processes and activities associated with industrial facilities. Some common sources of industrial water pollution include factories, manufacturing plants, chemical processing plants, power plants, and mining operations. Industrial water pollution can manifest in different forms, including chemical contamination, thermal pollution, sedimentation and erosion, nutrient pollution, oil spills, and more. Specific examples of industrial water pollution include the release of heavy metals like mercury from mining operations, the discharge of industrial chemicals into rivers, and the thermal pollution caused by power plants using water for cooling purpose. Many industries release chemicals and pollutants into water bodies as part of their processes. This includes heavy metals, toxic organic compounds, acid, alkali, and various other industrial chemicals. These pollutants can disrupt aquatic ecosystems and may contaminate drinking water sources.
According to the statistic released by the Department of Environment DOE in 2009, the major causes of pollution to the 52 rivers are related to anthropogenic activities. Specifically, the sources of contamination are caused by industrial areas, sewage, workshop, and residential areas. This anthropogenic influence causes elevated concentration of heavy metals, mercury, coliforms, and nutrient loads. The effects of pollution on the ecosystem of the river is extremely alarming. Malaysia has rich aquatic ecosystem that supply vital resources such as water, food, medicine, commercial aquatic resources, energy, transport, as well as social development. There are several other incidents related to river water pollution in 2018 and 2019 that affect the sustainability of cities, especially in relation to the environment, economic, and social. These examples include rivers in Selangor, Johor, Penang, and Perak. For the first 9 months of 2019 alone, the water treatment plant had forced to stop the operation 4 times due to incidents of contamination of raw water sources in the Semenyih River Selangor. Water supply disruption affected 240 areas and residents in Petaling, Hulu Langat, Kuala Langat, and Sepang. Also, Selangor Water Management Authority (SWMA) detected diesel contamination at the water treatment plant causing the Sungai Selangor phases 1, 2, 3 stopped at several times. This is due to the diesel oil spill resulting from sand mining activities. On December 2019, 46 factories in Nilai were inspected by the Department of Environment DOE after illegal dumping of toxic waste into the Indah Water Consortium (IWK) sewerage by irresponsible parties. This incident has caused Sungai Semenyih Water Treatment Plant was forced to stop operation and 366 areas with people in Petaling, Hulu Langat, Kuala Langat, and Sepang were affected. And the last case is on March 2019, which river pollution occurred in Sungai Kim Kim, Pasir Gudang, Johor, due to illegal chemical waste dumping. Due to this illegal waste has released toxic fumes, which 6,000 people were affected. In fact, 2,775 residents have been hospitalized, as well as 111 schools and 92 kindergarten and nurseries have been closed. Several toxic gases such as xylene, methane, and toluene were emitted following the interaction of the chemicals concerned with water. So the current status of the problem is most of the problems and rivers affected were reportedly much cleaner and clearer than before. It is clearer and recovering after it was cleaned.
Untreated or black water trickles into Earth's natural resources and has far-flung impact like harmful effect on river and aquatic life, impacting food chain.
So, how did Malaysia overcome the problems? First is the National Vision's message in support of Vision 2020 towards achieving development nation status. Malaysia will conserve and manage its water resources to ensure adequate and safe water for all, including the environment. For example, like water for people, it means like all have access to safe, adequate, and affordable water supplies for all, hygiene and sanitations. And second was water for food and rural development, which is that will ensure national food security and promote rural development. Third is water for economic development, which is provisions of sufficient water to spur and sustain economic growth within the context of a knowledge-based economy and e-commerce. And last one is water for environment, which is protections of water environment to preserve water resources, both surface and groundwater, and natural regimes, biodiversity, and the cultural heritage and mitigations of water-related hazards. Second one is the National Framework for Actions. The National Framework for Actions is managing water resources efficiently and effectively, which is moving towards integrated river basin management, translating awareness into political will and capacity, also moving towards adequate, safe and affordable water service. For example, like implementations of the national water visions, which is key policy is first endorsement and acceptance of the national water visions by all the stakeholders. Second is establishments of river basin organizations. Third is establishments of mechanism for coordinations and monitoring. That is sensitize and facilitate the involvement of NGOs in the implementations of the framework for actions. Enhancements of public awareness of the national water visions. Establishments of a mechanism for participatory management of stakeholders in all subsectors, and also maintain and regularize dialogue among key partners of national water vision. Next is the 8th Malaysian Plan 2001 till 2005 and the 3rd Outline Perspective Plan 2001 till 2010, which is this plan is the strategies and programs presented are aimed at putting the nations on a stronger footing and to more resilient and competitive. The immediate issue that need to be addressed as shown is like national water visions, which is to ensure continuous supply of water in terms of quantity and quality to meet all the needs, including those of the environment. Second is policy and law. The policy encompasses integrated management of the land and water resources based on the river basins and the protections of watersheds and aquifers. These river basin organizations, which is the state governments, are recommended to set up water management institutions similar to the Selangor Water Management Authority, which will contribute to implementations of best practice in the management of water resources to ensure the sustained supply of good quality of water. Next is pollutions. Activities which pollute water resources are monitored correctly. Groundwater, which is groundwater explorations programs are implemented, especially in the main river basins, so identify potential of aquifers and protection zones are provided to safeguard these important resources. Next is water demand management and research and development.
In conclusion, we are aware that rivers and groundwater are two of Malaysia's water resources, and since we use and consume water on a regular basis, it is critical for it to be sanitary and safe for use. Our everyday lives will be impacted if the water we consume are contaminated. As stated previously, river water quality in Malaysia is classified as either slightly contaminated or polluted. The majority of industrial areas with many factories have high numbers of polluted rivers. Pollution of industrial wastewater results from the discharge of hazardous substances onto the river or onto the land, where it could be absorbed into the soil and reach to the groundwater, leaving it unsafe for human consumption and other uses. The 6 Sustainable Development Goals, which is clean water and sanitation, also mentions that ensuring the availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all. However, Malaysia overcomes the problem through the national vision messages, which conserve and manage the water resources, and national framework for action through managing water resources efficiently and effectively. Therefore, everyone in the world needs to take the necessary steps to keep the sanitation and cleanliness of the water supplies, particularly the illegal discharge of wastewater from industrial factories. Thank you.